Now, this happened earlier this afternoon for our friends over in the UK. I hope all of you are okay. But as you can see, and I always go to Hasbro, CBS News first, because you have to hear from the perspective of Barry Weiss and Larry Ellison. 4 ambulances from Jewish group set on fire in London in suspected anti-Semitic hate crime. Jen, was it a hate crime? Have you been?
I have been to London, but I don't know. And here's the thing. Again, I don't care. That's the thing. They've pushed me so far that even if that is a hate crime, I don't care. That's the problem. So, again, I don't think it is. I think it is. Look, Occam's razor to me is that the Zios self-sabotage so that they can gain sympathy and play the victim card. So my first instinct is I call bullshit false flag. Let's say that. After that, let's assume that this is true. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because people are given very many reasons every single day to hate Jews. Yeah.
If Douglas Murray says that Iran is losing the war, you can rest assured that Iran is winning the war in a very provocative and demonstrably efficient way.
No, Israel is on their knees begging for mercy, and Iran is only getting started. And I am here for it. And no, I don't even care if it is an anti-Semitic attack. Continue. That's what I'm saying. Even if it is the most vitriolic, hate Jews, people like Mel Gibson's father level, I don't care.
Police in London are investigating a suspected anti-Semitic hate crime after vehicles belonging to a Jewish ambulance service were set on fire early Monday morning.
I hate when you do that.
It's not bad. Officers were called to Golders Green, a London neighborhood with a large Jewish population, after receiving reports of a fire. 4 ambulances belonging to the Hatzolah Northwest, a volunteer organization that provides emergency medical responses, were damaged, according to the London Fire Brigade. Photos from the scene show several of the ambulances completely destroyed, with just heaps of blackened wreckage remaining.
And you know what? You know what comes to mind for me, for any Zios that want any sympathy or anybody in any community? Because again, I just don't give a shit. What comes to mind for me are the ambulance workers in Gaza that were murdered and then buried with their ambulances, and the entire fucking world, including the UK, we're okay with their little self-investigation and explanation. Yeah, go get fucked. I just don't care.
Multiple oxygen tanks on the vehicles exploded, causing windows to break in an adjacent block of residences. It is said in a statement, adding that no injuries have been reported and the fire has been brought under control. The cause of the fire is being investigated, authorities said. Security camera video shows 3 people running across the street to the site where the ambulances were parked and appearing to light them ablaze. Did they mention that they were wearing tefillin and, Well,
and again, with a very, very large grain of salt, CBS News is not like a beacon of real journalism.
Not at all.
So, and who wrote this article?
CBS. Oh, who wrote it?
Yeah, like whose voice are you doing?
I'm just articulating.
Okay. You're not being a person who's actually saying these things, because this is a woman that now is talking about the police superintendent. But I call bullshit. I call bullshit, and you know what? That's a shame.
You know what's been the overwhelming response to most people that have heard this story?
That's what I want to know, Tony. That's what I say to him every time. And you know what, Travers, you should get in on this, because I know that you're Irish and stuff, but I feel like his accents definitely are emasculating. So I'm just saying.
We know this incident will cause a great deal of our community concern.
You're pissing off all our Brits.
And officers remain on scene to carry out urgent inquiries. Oh, that is wonderful. Here's what most people have been saying. According to our friends over in the UK, you know what's been the most talked about part of this, the entire thing?
Hmm.
Colin, can you scroll a little bit?
What do we have here?
No, go on the photo. Apparently, people are outraged by the fact that the Jewish community has their own ambulance system. I thought that the UK has a universal healthcare system, but evidently they have a speedy system for people in certain Jewish communities like this one. That's been the main takeaway for today, as if people couldn't be more pissed off, as you've alluded to.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people deserve to be hated or treated with violence, but the karmic alignment of the universe. If you treat people a certain way, what do you expect is going to happen?
Well, that's what I said, coming back to you mentioning karma and me saying that what you put out there comes back to you, which is why I don't ever put out hexes or negative curses or anything on people. You put that shit out there and it is going to come back and bite you every single time. So you don't, that I believe that. And so again, one way or another, it's karmic. This is karmic.
Absolutely. All right, let's continue. Police said reports of explosions were linked to the gas canisters on the ambulances. Nearby homes were evacuated as precautionary measure. Mark Reisner, an eyewitness who lives in the neighborhood, heard loud explosions and arrived at the scene just as the third ambulance was blowing up. Sure. A very loud explosion. You sort of felt it go through your guts. It's just left us all reeling with confusion and shock. Let me tell you what's confusing and shocking, how out of touch, out of sight, out of mind you people truly are. To come this far, and now nobody believes you, no matter what you say or what you do. And that, in many ways, is a reflection of what we ultimately said was going to happen. We said, we're not sure we're going to be able to save the Palestinian people. But what we know with absolute certainty that if we band together as a United States of America, we can beat these fuckers into oblivion. And that's where they're going. This shit that they have been doing for many a generation, they used to be able to use it so that no one can ever speak ill of all of the crimes, the war crimes, the crimes against humanity that they've been doing forever and a day. And now when they do it, and it looks so much like a false flag, everyone's looking at it saying, that looks like a false flag. And even if it isn't, we're not exactly feeling any sympathy for you anymore either.
You know what? You could add the clip from this right to like the same type of thing I was saying, probably around the time of Bondi Beach. They are desperate to maintain their victim card. Desperate. And so to me, the obvious culprit is them in their death throes more than somebody actually doing that. But but the point is, even if it is legit, let me tell you, I don't wish harm on people because, like I just said, when I say hexes and curses, I don't do anything ritualistic, but it's just about my idea of wishing negative things on people. And I'm so infuriated that over the past 2 years, I've crossed into that place that I really don't like to be, where I do find myself like really wishing negative stuff on people. And it is very dangerous to do that. But yeah, if the amount of fucks I have left to give about anti-Semitism, I can't find anymore. I've lost them all. The fucks are all gone.
Shamrim, a nonprofit organization that operates a neighborhood watch in the area, condemned the attack. Of course they did. This was not only a crime act of arson, but a targeted and deeply concerning incident affecting a vital emergency service serving the local Jewish community. Why do you have your own ambulance system when the UK has the NHS? Isn't it supposed to be health care for all? Or do you truly see yourselves as above the rest? Yes, that is what they believe. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the incident, calling it deeply shocking anti-Semitic arson attack. Is that what
Now,
you
if
said?
you're going to make him sound like some toady ass bitch that's wearing
Which he
lingerie
is.
and wants a gag ball in his mouth,
Which he
by
is.
all means, cheerio.
You know, I have to say, cheerio to Mr. Starmer, because you know what you've done, Mr. Starmer, in the UK? You have allowed the Green Party to become a force to be reckoned with. So congratulations. You could have had it easy with somebody like Jeremy Corbyn, but nope. Now what you've done is you have radicalized, revolutionized a substantial portion of the UK. And you know what history has always shown about the United Kingdom, ladies and gentlemen? So goes them, so goes us. Just as it was with Brexit, and then we had Trump, and the same shit is happening there. If they are going through a left populist revolution there right now, it might not happen here in the United States tomorrow, but it is inevitably going to happen because it is a trend that has always followed the history of our two respective countries. We were born out of the United Kingdom, and these are our big brothers, and they always will be. So follow the trend, you know. Thank you. So in a way, I thank Keir Starmer for being such a colossal cuck bitch fuck up of the worst kind.
Oh my God.
He actually turned the Green Party. It may be the UK's Green Party, but the Green Party is universal. The Green Party is now an actual legitimate political force in the United Kingdom. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen here.
But that's like our Democrat Party. So that essentially means they're fucking useless, other than they might be on the right side of one thing. So yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Well, but here's the point, and this is the important point. We have joked about the prospect of what the Green Party could morph into here in the United States. I call it the Green Beret Party, but I'm telling you, if the likes of Brian McGuinness, Tony Aguilar, Greg Stoker, Butch Ware, if those are the people that are going to be leading the Green Party forward, then there is a future there. It's going to take time, but there is a future there. So, as I said, be what it is, I'm appreciative. Archbishop of Canterbury, Sarah Mullally, the head of the Anglican Church, said such acts of violence, hatred, and intimidation have no place in our society, but genocide's acceptable. Am I right? Chief Rabbi Ephraim called it a sickening assault. Jen, how about you take over?
Hold on one second. I'm answering a question. You got to keep going.
At a time when Jewish communities around the world are facing a growing pattern of violence, geez, where could, you know what, Jen, there's just a conspiracy against Jews. That's all it is. They never did anything to nobody. Their entire ideology is completely sound of mind, and they're just misunderstood. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say it because Tony D, YouTube keeps rejecting my answer. My wish, if I had powers, would be that everyone gets exactly what they deserve. That's what my voodoo would be everybody gets exactly what they deserve.
Absolutely.
Or everybody gets exactly what they wish for the Palestinians.
Whew.
How about that?
That'll be one blind world. The number of anti-Semitic incidents, they're not Semites. I wish people would really start pointing that out more often. The number of anti-Israel incidents reported across the UK has soared since the start of the Israel-Hamas. They're still calling it the Israel-Hamas war in late 2023, according to the Community Security Trust, which works to protect the Jewish community. The group recorded 3,700 in 2025, up from 1,662 in 2022. Now, remember, what they report as crimes are usually people just looking at them cockeyed, not actually doing anything. And of course, they want to play the victim card because they know that the world hates them now. And it's only going to work for so much longer. You want to finish it up?
Okay, where am I in October? In October 25, an attacker drove his car into people gathered outside a Manchester synagogue on the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur and stabbed one person to death. In the United States, we call that Tuesday afternoon. Another person died during the attack after being inadvertently shot by the police. Earlier this month, 2 men were charged with carrying out hostile, and again, that's in quotes, hostile surveillance of the UK's Jewish community in London on behalf of Iran. Okay, that sounds like the most bogus thing. And go back up, Con, because this is, I always like to talk about like media literacy. Look at this. So notice the vagueness of this. Carrying out hostile surveillance. What is that? Is that an actual penal code? Was that somebody's opinion? Is that an actual charge? And on behalf of Iran, and in what way do we know that? Was there any sort of showing that they worked for Iran? Are these people even Iranian? Are they related to Iran? You see how they just put that in there? It's unbelievable. Good work, Barry. You're doing a bang-up job over there with your journalism, Barry. I don't remember you at CSPA. Where were you?
Yes. And that's Barry spelled B-A-R-R-Y.
No, well, I'm talking to Barry Weiss. Whatever. I don't recall you at CSPA back in the 80s, so don't know what you were doing. Earlier this month, 2 men were charged with carrying out... Okay, we got that part. All right, that was me. I said scroll back up. All right, we can continue now. All right. A series of recent attacks have also occurred in other cities in Europe, including an explosion outside a Jewish school in Amsterdam and nighttime attacks in front of synagogues in the Belgian city of Liège and the Dutch port city of Rotterdam earlier this month. No one was injured in those incidents. In France, officials said they foiled a suspected terror plot. Again, vague, no specificity, just throwing out fear words, aimed at Jewish targets. What were those targets? What were they doing? What was the plot? What was aimed at them? For all we know, they threw spitballs at them in the cafeteria. Okay? Like this is the kind of shitty ass journalism that we've come to expect from people like Barry Weiss.
Well, this is what happens when you get bought out by the biggest financial contributor to the entire Zionist cause. That's essentially what happened here.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you for listing the ADL, top 10 list for London anti-Semitic terrorist attacks this year. We don't believe them. And even if they're real, we don't care.